Hello everybody, Tim Heimgartner here. This is a project for HTML 401 titled Proposal for Integration Promotion Strategy. In this project, what we're asked to do is look at a organization either in your previous employment or current employment, or somebody that or an organization that you're familiar with in healthcare that you can report upon their business practices for promoting their services. So for this project, I elected to choose a physician that I'm pretty close with. I know him from years of working as a vendor. Dr. Ramandeep Sidhu owns and operates Vivo Vascular. It's located in Issaquah, Washington. And their primary services that they offer are, not only is he a vascular surgeon that runs a clinic out of there, but he offers additional minimally invasive operational surgeries and some outpatient stuff that's interesting. So we'll get to dive into that right now. So Vivo Vascular, like I said, it's an outpatient vascular access center specializing in minimally invasive endovascular procedures and also aesthetic services. So aesthetic services are going to be like laser tattoo removal, hair removal. He offers some advanced therapies like pool sculpting, destruction of fat cells and stuff like that, Botox injection, derma fillers, the whole list. There's many more I could have listed here, but he does contract an anesthetician that's been certified to do some of these procedures, as well as himself, he can do them as well. He's staffed by, his organization is staffed by board certified surgeons and physicians. So everybody's been credentialed. The additional procedures that he does and services included are going to be anything related to the vascular system of disease states. So venous disease, peripheral arterial disease, varicose veins, or those pesky spider veins that people see on their legs, and also hemodialysis and uterine fibroid intervention. So really any major endovascular interventional treatment can be offered by Vivo Vascular there on the east side of Bellevue. So for promotional practices, he actually does a really good job as is. Dr. Sidhu really values selling person to person, so building that marketing referral amongst the area physicians on the east side. So he does have a marketing manager that will do some promotional stuff for him. She's also kind of an office assistant. Doesn't have any marketing background, but will go out to private practice, primary care providers, and market their services. So, and then he's also good at doing physician to physician or peer to peer marketing, and that means just kind of closing the loophole. If he sees a patient of a physician, he makes sure to call them personally, follow up with them. He tends to try to stick with referral patterns from primary care physicians that are in private practice, not ones that are lumped into, say, Kaiser or are part of like an affiliated network per se. He also does something interesting with his practice there in Issaquah. He does some partnerships or as a joint practice with a few other physicians. I think one's an internal medicine doc, one's like a family practice doc, and one is a nephrologist. So the nephrologist is nice because that's another private practice doc that can see patients in his clinic, and then it's easy for him to refer those patients directly to Dr. Sidhu if they have an issue with their AV access or dialysis access graft or catheter. He can fix it right there on the spot. So it's kind of like this, close proximity, easy referral system that he has. The other thing that he does well is referral flyers. I've helped him with some of this stuff. There's an example up in the upper right-hand corner where he markets his services according to certain disease states. This one's venous and arterial, and he does some awareness campaigns that he distributes to like podiatrists and hematologists and such. Advertising and media. So he does a great job on Facebook, on Instagram of promoting Vivo Vascular. This is one media that he uses a lot. I think it's well established, and he does get some hits and some impact with it. He's also developed a YouTube channel where he talks about some of the services and procedures that they do, and also some patient testimonials, which I think is nice. His website's pretty state of art. I think his website does a great job. He also has a lot of practice flyers that he sends out for his marketing manager to distribute. And then also those disease state awareness months. For instance, I think March is DVT awareness month. So for the whole month of March, they're making sure to market the DVT disease state and their services that they can offer patients that have deep vein thrombosis. So what do they do good? So my analysis is that Vivo Vascular is heavy on owned media being, Facebook, Instagram, that type of stuff, but they're light on the paid media, meaning that they could do a better job with spending money to promote their practice and promote their services with other sources of media. A lot of personal selling involved, but is that the best strategy? I'm not sure for this market, especially for the aesthetic stuff. And then how many channels, is another question, how many channels are we using to communicate with our customers? Seems like his communication channel is going to be to the referring providers and not necessarily to the patients. And that's what we're going to look at and examine here closely. So the strengths of Vivo Vascular, like I said, great for peer-to-peer promotion. So from physician to physician, private practice to private practice, send me your patients, I'll send you mine. He also does a good job with the website, like I said, and the Google search engine pops up his practice. But they're not good at promoting the end users, or not good patching through the end users. And we'll get into that here in a second. And also the aesthetic services that they offer promotes, or is lacking promotion as well. This is where I think they can really bolster the referrals and their business, is by focusing on the patients instead of the referring providers, okay? But my proposal for the promotion for Vivo Vascular is going to be kind of a two-prong approach. It's going to be sales promotion for that aesthetic service line. That seems to be where he has spent a lot of money, but it's not really kind of gotten it up and running to full force. And what I mean by a proposal for them to bolster those services is going to be directed specifically at those patients, so those customers that are needing aesthetic services. Now, as we know, aesthetic services it's a competitive environment. You have everywhere from plastic surgeons to primary care doctors, from anybody offering Botox, and I think even I've heard some dentists will offer Botox in their offices. So we need to make sure that we're reaching customers in such a competitive environment. What I also like to do is offer coupons or specials. This means via, like, maybe every quarter do like a special event, and I know that they do these with dermatologists or plastic surgeons, where your local allergen rep who sells Botox will bring in, hors d'oeuvres or light snacks, and you'll do kind of an evening run of patients for a discount if they come in and get Botox injections. So you can run specials like that. Also discounts, post a flyer on Facebook saying, $50 off your next treatment. Now this is all cash paid customers, which is nice. So all that aesthetic service, all those aesthetic services are paid on cash. So you can ask for those type of discounts when you're not having to bill insurance. Also referral bonuses, asking patients to refer patients in. You get $100 off your next treatment if you refer 3 patients and such. So that's one thing that he's not doing, which I would strongly suggest promoting, word of mouth, and kind of that community word of mouth promotion. And then also he just needs to increase his paid media. One idea would be to try to get into the Seattle Monthly magazine. I know a lot of people read that here in the Puget Sound area. I'm not sure the impact factor, but it's much better than a newspaper, and I think it probably hits more people than you would think. Also, the Alaskan Airlines magazine. We've all flown Alaska Airlines from Seattle. We see that little magazine they have in the back. You have multiple ads in the back in the Seattle magazine, or the Alaska magazine, for restaurants or hotels. But there's also physicians that will advertise their services in that magazine as well. The other area is that who needs this type of service? So aesthetics. You're thinking of customers who have these varicose veins, who like to be active, who like to wear shorts. No better place than gyms, right? You go to a gym, you look at 24-hour LA Fitness. They have a monitor in the workout area that has, scrolling advertisements of chiropractors or local businesses. I think this would be a good advertising media as well. He's not on Twitter. I think Twitter is a very impactful social media outlet or platform as well. So I'd strongly suggest him increasing his channel width by going into Twitter. And then just like I said, the special event blasts, we'll get to that next. One of my special event blast big ideas would be what's called a Vine and Veins screening event. And I've worked with a physician before over in Spokane who did this. You do like a wine tasting event for, your target audience is going to be women, females, the ages of 40 to 60 who have varicose veins or spider veins that they dislike and they want to get treated. So you host a kind of a free Vines and Veins seminar where they come in, get their ultrasound done, and then he gives them kind of a treatment plan for how to treat those varicose veins, and they get free hors d'oeuvres and get some wine out of the deal. I think that would work well, and just better understanding your target audience. So unlike the interventional practice of interventional business of his practice, which are dialysis patients that need recurrent treatment, the aesthetic business is a different beast, and I think that he needs to really understand that target audience better to increase production and patients that come to his clinic. I do like the idea of, since it's a big clinic, of subleasing your space to other providers. Other private practice providers that may need an office space can utilize that space. And also it's just ease of referral. If their patients are there and they need to have some type of service, whether it be vascular service done, it's there in-house. So that type of push strategy, I think, would incentivize referring providers to send more patients his way. And then just appeal to the payers. So outpatient services that can be done in a clinic are more advantageous, are looked at in a better light for insurance payers than having to have that patient go into a hospital and receive that service. So I'm not sure what he's doing for promoting this type of services to Blue Shield, Blue Cross, but you do have to know that there's a lot less cost involved with treating that patient in an OBL, an outpatient lab, than it is for that patient to go to the hospital. And I think the providers would love that. Rebranding his image just from not being a vascular access center to being kind of a full, round of medical practice. And lastly, let's see, benefits of integrated promotion are going to be increase your target audience. So this is especially for that aesthetic business that's lacking, knowing your customer and increasing our put out of information to that target audience, that specific target audience. Expand customer reach through advanced programs like Vines and Veins, and then just penetrate that competitive market on the east side with doing stuff that makes you differentiated from your competitors, like those social events I was telling you about. And then gain community attention. Promotional events that you're doing, just be more present within the community. Expand that by doing stuff like local television ads or radio ads, or even like that Seattle Monthly magazine would be a good opportunity. And lastly, like I said, rebrand the company. So change the business image from being just a vascular service offering to a more broader medical service offering by bringing in other physicians, primary care providers, oncologists maybe would even be a good one, or even a plastic surgeon to augment your business and increase your footprint with referring patients. And then lastly, just tell a story of why you're in business. It's not just vascular services, it's kind of a whole health and wellness promotion. Well, I think that would be a good opportunity and a good idea. I hope those are great strategies for Vivo Vascular. Thank you for your time, and yeah, go get them.